You gotta do the intro.
Oh shit. What was the intro again?
What's up, y'all?
It's your name, everybody.
Okay.
Bisha.
Okay.
And this is
Yo. What's the deal? This is Elevated Consciousness. Elevated Consciousness. And I am
Yeah, we definitely it.
Oh yeah.
Yo, what's the deal? This is Elevated Consciousness. I am Bisha. This is Justin. And this is Andy. And as always, we talk about that real shit. We let you know what's on our mind. We keep up with current events. And we just, we let shit flow. So y'all, this whole shit about T.I. and Tiny and 19 different women talking about over 19 different women talking about they was up there abusing motherfuckers. R. Kelly and
So
niggas.
what all did they say they were doing?
Well, they just said that they had
They were
sexual
like drugging
relations
them and
they
shit.
were a little rough on certain things, like doing some real kink type of shit that was against people's consent. And keeping bitches like caged up and shit like that. But of course, as you would expect, they like, nah, none of that shit happened. None of that shit happened. And
What do you think? Do you think?
I mean, at the end of the
19
day,
plus women.
I can't say much of what I feel like. Since he has something to say, I feel like he might be scared of what might come up. Because if you feel like there's nothing on him, then I feel like he wouldn't say anything at all.
Man, I feel like, but it's different for him though, because he not no regular ass, even a regular ass dude, he a black man with a whole bunch of money.
If you innocent.
But no, niggas in this country every day go down for some shit they did not do.
I mean, how can you go down if you didn't do it? If you could say...
Because you a nigga. Because you're black. That's why you go down for shit you didn't do all the time.
I mean, yeah.
And so for him, he gotta say something. He can't, because it'd be different if one girl said the shit, but these is 19 different women.
That's what I'm saying.
You gotta say something. But me, for real, like, of course it's always two sides of stories, but it's kind of, you don't want to be that asshole to tell a victim that they're lying.
So
exactly.
So what do you think? So you think that one guy got a group of 19 women to all corroborate and say the same thing?
I mean,
that's kind of
the way this world is, both of them motherfuckers can be very possible. Very possible. But at the same time, what?
I would say, what if you made them, like, you be hearing like celebrities making people sign like disclosures and shit?
Fuck yeah, that's true.
Hell yeah.
If they sign disclosures, they can't even really say nothing, can they?
If they can, but he's gonna sue them. Like,
but this is
or
how
it'll be some like legal shit.
Yeah,
okay. You can always say some shit,
but they still gotta go on the trial. Like, just because he want to sue them, don't mean he gonna win.
That
so
trial
right,
under wraps. If he got something that
because disclosures is consent.
But at the same time, if it's a crime committed, then that non-disclosure shit just gonna go out the window. Type of shit. I think so. If it doesn't say the non-disclosure,
get hurt, does it?
No, but the non-disclosure gotta say excluding that's fine.
Yeah, it might help.
He trying to eat all my damn chocolates, but it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
But look, this how I feel about it.
What is it?
I feel like low key, it's to me how I view the world and my experiences in the world is that he probably did some shit like that. Like he probably, both of them, not just he and her.
And exactly, Tiny. You think Tiny's capable of doing it?
It's women who run.
Tiny.
It's women who run entire sex trafficking businesses. Like this is why
they didn't deny a lot of it.
And it has nothing to do with me not having something specifically towards T.I. or Tiny. I'm just looking at them as regular human beings. If the average men that I know that with a little bit of money have power to do whatever the fuck they want to women, and women with money is the same way, and they create and like people with money for some reason they start doing weird sex shit. I don't know what it is, but the more money you get, the more freaky, weird shit you start getting into, type of shit.
And so, because you're like around,
and so, and the whole music industry is like sitting around sex, no matter what genre you go to, from country all the way to fucking folk tales. That shit is all about sex, and sex and money run that whole shit, and they be using their money like money is the root of all evil. And I know that's an old ass saying, but that shit is gonna be relevant to the end of time because that shit is true. They was probably in there consenting, like, yeah, give me some money, I want to be famous, I want to this and this and that, in that mind state. But at the same, that's telling like people to take accountability of what happened to you, type of shit, because you knew what was going on, and when it didn't go your way, you just like, fuck y'all, I'ma tell now, type of shit.
What you think, Andy? You ain't said what you?
Maybe them payments stop.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Andy.
So do you feel like they could still be considered victims, even though it was for him it was considered consensual, but for them clearly it wasn't,
But it's kind of hard to tell, and it's really hard to tell
that word,
because you gotta think.
But what I'm saying, when you involve drugs, what I'm saying is, when you involve drugs, is it consensual? When you involve alcohol, is it consensual?
It's a gray area.
Your consensual decision kind of could be, tainted with the idea that this person has money that can change your life.
That's why
things that you probably would normally be uncomfortable with, it kind of coerced a little bit that he's flashing $100 bills in stacks at you.
Right.
It's like,
is it his fault that you?
I want to stick this hanger inside of you, and you're like, oh.
But it be shit like that though.
Inside me.
No, but it be shit like that though.
Money will make you say, you know what? I'm into that shit.
When you start getting, like I said, when you start getting money, your desires start to change to something weird. Because if you think shit. Like this, is the thing. Not even just rich people as a kid. When you was a kid, the things you desired was real petty shit. Like when you 7, 8 years old, somebody asked if you can have anything in the world what you want. Most of us said like candy, a certain toy.
I said a helicopter.
Basically what I'm saying, outlandish shit that wasn't realistic. Right. And then when you get older, your desires start to change. But when you get money, that gives you opportunity to do most of humans' desires is shit that you can get with money, type of shit. And so when you get money, you start running out of the basic shit to really want. So now you gotta go to your dreams, shit that you dream about. And niggas, I dream about weird shit.
I think some guys, I think some guys, just like you said, people start getting what they dream about. Some people dream about controlling people, and they realize, man, thousands of dollars can make people do crazy shit.
And when you get a whole bunch, and the rap game, like black people in music, when you get a whole bunch of people, like a culture of people who's been deprived of like basic necessities for livelihood for hundreds of years, and it's like imprinted in us to always want and desire and come from some type of suffrage, and then you give us all money with no rules. And then you only start making the rules when we start doing something you don't like. There's no rules at first, and then when we start doing things you don't like, then you start making rules, type of shit. So you have all these people who come from struggle, especially rappers. Basically, like 95% of rappers come from some type of struggle, and then you give them money, and you don't. They don't give no. You need. To me, you need counseling to get that type of money. When you get that money, you need to start being able to realize.
That goes with sports too.
Because you be like 19 years old going to the fucking NBA and be like millions of dollars. Like you should be. You need to have classes in like fucking. There should be some
how
type
to
of
deal
like
with fame, how to deal with this excess amount of money at a young age, how to handle your finance, all that. Yeah.
Just like, because if somebody, well, now I'm older enough, but if I was 21 years old, I would definitely fuck off a couple $1 million when I was 21 years old.
What's the craziest thing y'all would do for $1 million?
I'd smack my mama. I'd smack my mama for $1 million.
Oh my.
Because my mama a real thug. She understand. Right, mama?
Mm-hmm. I think half of us will do a lot of shit.
Would you stick a hanger in somebody for $1 million?
Maybe a little tiny one. Maybe like a little.
People would do a lot of shit for less than that. So
maybe a pants hanger.
Just like, yeah, you know.
Maybe a pants hanger on them long ones like that.
Have y'all seen that movie, American Psycho?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They be on some weird shit.
They said XXX did that to that girl.
Have you seen Into Deep?
For the hanger in her?
Hell yeah. His baby mama.
Have you seen Into Deep when that nigga put that broomstick up that nigga ass? Remember Into Deep with it was LL Cool J?
Did he steal some money?
No,
he
stole some money or some shit, and then he I think he came on to the nigga girl, like his wife or some shit. She told him about it,
and so
like,
you want to fuck my wife?
Yeah, and he put him on that pool table.
Man,
now that was some crazy shit.
That
like in order for me too, cause we had to be like maybe just now double digit A's. And I remember that. I don't even remember the entire movie. All I remember is a nigga shooting out the car with the blanks. Yeah. That was tragic.
What did he do?
So we was talking about T.I. and Tiny, people taking advantage of people when they get money, how your desires turn to, they become outlandish because you get an opportunity to really live your dreams. And so when you're around other people who are lower than you or make less money than you or trying to get what you got, you have this power that it's kind of hard not to get drunk off of because they almost would do anything you ask them for. And so it's like, it's two ways you can think of it. Like, that is a lot of responsibility to give to a person that got money
too. So half of the crazy things we talking about, they'll do it for $50.
But it's crazy to me because none of their celebrity friends are speaking out against this, I
mean, because they know they are part of that shit.
And I was thinking about that.
Group.
Yeah, if you got
a small group, and some of the main hired people who are into this weird stuff, which they portrayed in American Psycho, those millionaires are into the crazy things, and when you turn a blind eye and turn the cheek on those things for some years, and you sign a contract, and you kind of don't want to speak out because you're scared of being blackballed.
Exactly.
And it's very easy for them to be blackballed. So. It's too early to really say what's going on with this. Everything could be false, but at the end of the day, it's kind of crazy when more than one person says something about you.
Yeah, and it's hard not to believe because y'all known for doing shit like that. And then you can just if you just wanted to blatantly just put that trial by me, this shit, just play the nigga songs.
I mean, think about it like this. Play
the nigga songs, and he just basically another option of him telling on himself through another fucking song.
How often do rappers get this type of publicity on this allegation?
All the time.
But really
extremely often.
But what's so crazy about it that it's not a hard thing to believe because regular people do things like this. Regular couples have sex with plenty of women all the time, and just by consent. And it's all about we really not in a position to really know because nobody was there. But I just feel like based off human history and human activity.
You think it's off of the woman's always right culture?
No, if you did the shit, if he didn't do the shit, he still,
it's kind of like you gotta
he's
prove
done.
That you didn't.
Yeah, he gotta prove that he didn't. But even when if he does prove it, it's still gonna have that. It's still gonna be a mark on his shit.
You would think that's that type of behavior and fetish you would want to film and videotape. So at that point, to prove my innocence, I would show the tapes.
But why film and videotaping when this is gonna happen all the time? Different if it's a time of a lifetime.
When your fetish is that deep, you want to look at it by yourself. You don't want to look at it.
Yeah, people like to tape shit.
People, and especially in that situation, I would picture somebody who like that type of sex love cameras.
What they say they
Ew, can y'all even imagine them in a threesome? Ew, that's disgusting. Oh my god, ew.
I can imagine if Tiny was maybe the Tiny in the 90s. I can imagine it, but Tiny now, I don't know.
Tiny keeping her body right.
Is she?
They going around snatching up them babies.
Hell yeah.
And I ain't talking about babies and infants. I hope they don't do
They're making a lot of babies.
Young girls.
Yeah.
Flash some cash at them and they on that bandwagon.
Speaking of young girls and shit, them TikTok challenges, the silhouette challenge. What y'all think about that? How dope is that?
I feel like it's probably all those millions of views under those videos. It's mostly children looking at that. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of grown people, but there's a lot of children looking at that.
Exactly. And that's what's weird about it. It's
But I'll take that. I'll take that over them watching the Bussy challenges.
any of the challenges. Like I don't want my child seeing somebody with their titties out, like, you know, like, or their ass out.
But it's kind of hard.
Regardless,
it's in the world. It don't,
like it's gonna be almost impossible for you not to.
But for
shit.
Like a young child, like 3, 4, 5.
Man, that shit be in the cartoons.
And they open TikTok and they
be like cartoons with their asses out, like little cartoons and shit on the TV on Disney and shit. With they show asses, like it show a butt hanging out of a cartoon pants or some shit, or they show all type of shit. Yeah. All the time, like if you don't, and they show like why does a cartoon even have to appear to have breast if it's a cartoon type of shit? Like it's so many different and especially how we have adult cartoons that don't look like it's for adults.
I feel like we're getting straight to the point with this.
That's what I'm saying.
This day and age, we're not leaving anything to the imagination.
But you know, and that would explain the fact that we so sexualized at a young age. Would explain why, as soon as this challenge come out, some motherfucker decides to find out how to take that filter off, so he can see what everybody got on behind the filters.
Look at technology these days.
You can do anything.
But like to do that though, and then try to sell the method. Like, if you give me this money, I'll tell you how to take these filters off. And I'm like, yo, for real? Like, why?
At the same time though, people putting them videos on the internet. Like, what you think gonna happen? You putting some shit like that?
But it's not. But no, that's not what it's about. If you it's like if you. This like how you are right now, and some nigga just found out some type of shit to be able to remove my clothes while I'm sitting here. Like, no, I decided.
You're practically posting a video with your clothes already off.
But you're not seeing my body. It's like, do you say that about my shadow when you walking down the fucking street?
Because you're not walking down the street in your bra and panties like these girls.
You go to, you do all the time. People walk around outside in their little bitty ass clothes with shadows, butt ass naked. What I'm saying in Texas, when it's hot outside, all I'm saying is that I understand you get what you get. Like if you put yourself into this type of situations, but it's not an excuse for the bad behavior of somebody trying to violate you or take advantage of what you want. Right. So if she put that shit on there, because it's bra and panties is a normal thing to see a woman in. It's not abnormal for you go into Walmart and it's pictures of women in bra and panties in everywhere. So
some of these girls are naked as well though.
Right, but they naked to where they're covering their bodies. They're assuming that they're covering their bodies. So that's not give us like, well, you should have did
What do you think about these challenges? Do you like them? What do you think their impact is on people?
I'll watch a shitload of those motherfuckers. I see some of them.
Who hasn't at this point?
Hard.
Who hasn't?
But at the same time, like I said, I'll take this one compared to all the other challenges that I've seen and listened to. Shit, we just talked about the Buster challenge. That shit went dark really fast. And then you talk about all the little dance challenges. Yeah, they little dances and shit, but the lyrics to the songs are fucking crazy. And I'm seeing 12, 13-year-olds sing, like doing dance moves about like the throat baby shit. Like that's a fucking song about
Are you serious?
Sucking dick, and this TikTok song dance to it, and people, it's like kids dance to that shit. So I'd rather have an instrumental song with no lyrics behind it, and people had just like appearing to be in a silhouette.
That be hard though.
At least it's some art.
Hard.
Throw that song. I would listen to the song.
Did y'all watch the video?
Song go hard.
You see Tiana Trump was in the video.
Who? Tiana Trump? Who is that?
You talking?
Don't act like you don't know who Tiana Trump is. Who is that? What do you mean? He knows who she is. He knows.
I know. You know what I mean. I understand. Like this is to me, I feel like this is one of the most. I haven't seen a PG post like this in a long time.
Damn, that's crazy. That's PG.
I was like, you feel like that's PG?
You don't see nothing. It's literally a shadow.
You can see their nipples. You can see their nipples. You can see their ass.
I'm about to see your nipples.
But like actual.
But let's talk about the busting. You seeing ass cheeks, women who don't have no clothes on busting that shit. You seeing niggas pop out dicks and shit and get like.
I didn't see that part.
But you see, I showed you though. You see, like, well, my whole point is though, like, this is something that you are not seeing nobody's body, like physical like nudity.
So you saying we're going in the right direction?
I feel like we're going in the right direction compared to what we just had for the last fucking year.
I feel like
we're going in the right direction.
Next gonna be like ass naked challenge.
We're not done.
It's already been ass naked challenges. It's already, this whole year has been nothing but ass naked ass challenges.
Alright, so do y'all like this shit better? Or remember that licking ice cream challenge?
No.
Like licking ice cream.
People go in Walmart and like open the ice cream and
lick it.
Yeah. Like, you know
I do remember that.
Until that
That's disgusting. And anybody who does that is disgusting.
And then ain't that crazy? Ain't about that one that time when Bluebell had to recall all that shit?
Mm-hmm.
It's probably because
they just sure did do a recall on this shit. Oh my god! And they had people standing by the fucking ice cream and shit. That shit's recently. No, this was like a couple. This was maybe like a couple years ago.
I thought it had like your recommended when you come back.
It do. That's why I fuck with Pornhub because them niggas know me. They like, yeah, welcome back, Bisha. We missed you. It's been a while. Doing this shit. It do. It be like recommended for you, just like Netflix.
Do y'all think porn is healthy?
Fuck yeah, it is. To me, it's really,
I want to get into this.
It's really depending on what kind of porn it is.
Well, exactly.
Okay,
so what's the?
I don't know. I feel like it could be educational, but I feel like when you abuse it, just like if you do anything too much, I feel like
educational.
It can be educational.
Yeah, definitely educational.
People learn how
to be faking on there though.
But you still learn how to do that type of, whatever they be doing.
Are they all faking though? They got
exactly. Are they faking? Actually,
what do y'all be watching?
Overall, porn is not healthy because
I don't think it is.
It has definitely changed the reality about sex. Like, it makes you feel like whatever you do to a woman, as long as you put the dick in, then it's gonna be great. So it really just fucked up men. Really, that's who women. It kind of because it's women watch porn, of course, but they don't process it in a way that men do. So men watch that shit and that's really how it's educational for them because they watch that shit and that's where they get all the fucking moves from. Like how it's really weird how majority of men feel like their favorite position is doggy style. It's weird, isn't it?
I mean.
Millions of men, if you ask them what they fucking...
I mean, that's kind of like the first position we see.
Yeah.
Because one, like, doggy style, you ain't got to look them in their eyes, smell their breath, like...
That's some porn shit.
Got more control, got more body control.
Exactly.
That's some porn shit.
Some fantasy shit.
And most porn, like, even, you know how on the websites and shit, they don't never show you this. They always show you, like, parts of it. They don't ever show you how to video. So, it is weird that majority of the men... no matter what age group you go to, their favorite fucking position is the doggy style. And it's because when you click play on them porn, one of the first positions you see is doggy style. But what's natural for us to do, for real, is mostly missionary. When you have your first time having sex, most people do missionary.
That's grandpa style right there.
But it's natural. That's the most natural way to...
I mean, you ain't got to continue to do it like that the whole time. I'm just saying. In the fact that, like, it's just weird shit. And it's kind of, I feel weird talking about it, but because I have so many women friends who do actually sleep with men, just the stories I hear is just fucking hilarious. And you can tell that where he get his reference of or what he think he should be doing is based on porn. It's like niggas feel like you just got to beat the pussy up to where it's just like full hammer mode every time. That's definitely some that's definitely some
shit.
porn. And some women may like that shit. Some women, you never know.
What sign is the most crazy?
But you keep doing, but that's the type of shit that'll fuck you up. Cause like I think of it logically, if you beat the pussy up, she gonna be sore, and you can't hit it again for the next couple days, like to a week. If you that's some niggas really do feel like that's the only way to do. Some niggas be doing some real weird shit type of shit, but it's not, I don't think it's, but I think the way porn is going now though, is you have so many different options. There is other healthier options that show people like having real sex.
I feel like the porn industry is throwing people off on how to really talk to women.
It normalizes like unrealistic sex expectations. Like
what women want, what women are interested in. You know what I'm saying? They're so focused on that part because honestly, that's the main thing that runs the whole world we live in is sex.
What kind of porn do you watch?
I think it depends on the person, really.
I like watching like the type of porn.
Be honest.
I'm gonna be honest. I ain't got no reason to lie. I'm grown. Who gonna whoop me? But yeah, my favorite type of porn is like, well, not my favorite. I kind of have like a variety of things. I like personal porn, like shit.
Personal.
Like,
like
it's like
people who,
intimate and shit
yeah,
like that?
no, like porn made by people who actually know each other, like POV.
Oh, like
type of shit.
couples and shit.
POV?
Yeah,
Oh,
POV
okay.
type of shit. Like I like shit like
She
that.
talking about amateur.
Yeah, you like
amateur.
I mean, it's not necessarily amateur. Like porn stars make shit like that too. Like porn stars that fuck each other all the time. Like made a lot of videos with each other.
Y'all wilding about this sex.
We are.
So how y'all feel about these stocks, like with AMC, all the stuff with Robinhood, like not letting people buy?
I feel like it's turning people on to different alternatives to making money.
Yeah,
like a lot more people
for sure.
looking at stocks. And,
That's some of the things that was kind of like taboo to us.
So
we weren't supposed to know or learn about
right.
as if we couldn't, because only one shade of skin tone was paying attention to it, and they had dialogue that we don't understand.
Right.
But
is there like
it's
new?
all about you reading a book that I'm not reading, so that's why you know about it more than I do. So.
Yeah, it's about to really start. It's really about to start putting like us as black people. The fact that it's so many of us learning how to do this shit now is really about.
And
to...
I love the stories. I saw
so many like young kids,
I
like
saw a 9-year-old little black kid.
Right.
Had mom brought some stock for her. And sold it at the right amount of time and made her a couple $1,000s.
So do they have like new restrictions on it now since the GameStop shit happened? I know they're not like, but to let that shit happen again.
I feel like they're in their feelings nowadays because the normies then got a touch of this money and got an idea on how to make it.
Yeah.
If you have a huge following, you say a few words like the president used to do, and it would manipulate the market on certain things. He said.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You say Coke and you got 1 million followers. I'm pretty sure Coke stock probably will go up.
Ooh, excuse me.
Bless you.
My bad, guys.
Good one.
Good sunlight, all that stuff.
That was not a COVID sneeze.
It wasn't.
Oh,
wasn't a regular sneeze, I promise.
Here all day too.
Y'all watch American Skin?
Yeah,
I loved it.
We didn't talk about that, huh?
We did,
Yeah,
and I loved it.
What was your favorite part? Anything about it? Or the biggest takeaway?
I really liked the scene where they were all, it was like the whole jury thing, and they were all like, talking about just racism and everybody's points of view on police brutality and all types of shit. And like, I felt like it was so many good talking points. Just like shit that, like we talked about, that white people need to hear. Well, really everybody needs to hear, but yeah, just like about, you know, general, like stereotyping black people and shit like that. And it just really everything that they were, the dialogue was so good. Like I said, I wish that everybody needs to watch it. Everybody needs to.
White dude's perspective, like
exactly how he thought.
But I could see.
But you can understand it.
Like,
you can understand it. Exactly. Like the whole thing about like white police being actually like scared and shit like that, and it just puts like all of that into perspective. But yeah, everybody should watch it.
I feel like it was beating a fucking dead horse.
You watched it?
Yeah.
Oh, you did?
I feel like it's beating a fucking dead horse. Everything that happened in that movie has been happening for a really long time. Those exact situations, those exact conversations with police officers. I've literally sat in fucking like town hall meetings where real police officers are saying the same things. This movie, Spike Lee putting out this movie, is just another nigga making money off black fucking trauma. How many more times do we have to see movies like this explaining this? Didn't we just have a movie come out like this not too long ago? I mean, a lot of them, like, I mean, thank you. I mean, great. Right, like I'm tired of seeing black trauma movies. Like, god damn, like I know, and ain't nobody knew. Anybody who watched this American Skin movie, black, white, whatever, you didn't see shit you ain't never seen before.
But the thing I like about it is it shifted the power. Like instead of the cops and the judges having the final say, the nigga who that impacted the most. Like, he could have killed that police officer. He had the ability to just kill that nigga in his life.
Right, but at the same time, though, that didn't... Who was that part for? Because at the end of the day, let's be real. No matter what he was talking about having a little my own trial, at the end of the day, what he wanted and what he felt they didn't give a fuck about that. At the end of the day, everybody in that building knew that man was gonna die at the end, so they went along with it.
I mean,
they just didn't want to die before he died.
I mean, from what I took away from the movie, I feel that it was, first of all, the whole structure of the movie was a movie. I felt like I was in a movie, even all the way up to the end.
Yeah.
But when I think about it, it gives America a different perspective on police brutality and what it can possibly lead up to. I mean, the point of the movie was a group of guys. Now, I gotta shout out the whole idea that this dude got 5-6 dudes to go in there and put their life on the line for someone they mutually knew. A child who came.
Right, like what kind of friends would do that?
But how many?
It's people that would do that though.
And it's been plenty of movies like that.
Hey, brother, come ride with me. We about to go take over the police station, and
we got plenty of movies like that though. What I'm saying is that I understand that the good parts about the movie. I'm saying, but it's not unique. As far as it being praised, it's like, oh, the movie of the century. Like, this movie has definitely been made like 80,000 times.
I feel like
with the same power structure and everything, like black men being able to take.
I wouldn't even consider it movie of the century. I just feel like it's just giving a different perspective.
What's the different perspective?
Personally, I haven't seen a movie where a black man take over a predominantly white police.
Man, Pelican, 1, 2, 3, dude, Den of Thieves. Like, there's been plenty of like black people taking
but not on that idea though.
I mean,
Den of Thieves dudes was criminals.
But at the
it was ex-military.
But what I'm saying is that at the end of the day, he did all of that to be, because it basically just showed to niggas, no matter how much you are right, no matter how much you know what you're talking about, no matter how much they did you wrong, at the end of the day, they gonna kill your ass anyway.
Well, I feel like
you got that different perspective. Okay, great, you got that different conversation. But how the movie ended again is telling black men and black people, no matter how right you are, it does not matter.
Yeah. America, I
don't see how you couldn't get that from the movie.
I feel like it don't matter. I feel like it's the message.
That's the message.
I feel like if you could give your life for something that millions of people will see and hear, then just like some of these extremists,
and that's really what the whole concept of the movie was.
But why you
doing the documentary?
But why you need a movie to do that? We have real people to do that every day.
I mean, some people are under a rock, and like the only way they'll be able to see the real world is through the lens of a movie.
And movies like that, even though they do them a lot, like them type of movies, they pull your emotional strings so much. That's what movies.
But do you think it's pulling the right? Do you think it's pulling the right strings?
It doesn't matter.
Because I don't hear or see white people having conversations about these movies.
But this allowed them to. I feel like this movie put that.
A lot of them
this caused the conversation.
A lot of them niggas don't go see the movies at all. When do you see them having conversations about this unless a black person like, hey, go see this movie and let's talk about it?
I saw some white people in the movie theater.
But how often though? Was it enough to have to like really make a change? Like what I'm saying is that the people who are affected the most about this movie is the people who are already aware that these things happen. That's kind of like my whole point. Like this movie, you talking about showing a different perspective, but who we really want to reach to is the white people who are portraying these type of things, and they're not being attracted to these movies. These movies are being sold to black people who already know this shit happen every day. People who think just like that man and the friends that they would want to go into a fucking station and fuck that shit up.
I feel like at the end of the day,
you say it's trauma.
You say it's not. It doesn't matter, but I feel like even if it reaches one,
exactly that one person, because then they go home and have a conversation with their family about, well, you know what, I feel this way, and da da da.
It's the whole idea. It's the whole idea of paying it forward. One tells two, two tells three.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I guess if you look at that standpoint, if you look at the minimal type of thing,
I think at the end of the day, it paves the way, because what I see from this happening is more movies, including a similar incident that will be real, which I've seen some incidents like this.
But can the niggas survive the whole movie? How about that? Like that's really my issue. Is that at the end of these movies, they're dying.
Is that a situation where you could live? I doubt it.
But what I'm saying, if we talking about shit that's not real, if we talking about a movie, why can't we motivate and educate people to do better than the outcome that we already have?
I mean,
like,
it's kind of
shouldn't the movie been like, okay, he went through this shit, he did all this shit, and his answer had to be death? Like, what type of
I feel like if it was more people involved, like they say in the movie, how you gonna fight? You know, you got this people in here that hate you, then you got to deal with a whole army outside of this building. What if there was like an army of black people outside of that building also?
That's real life. That happens all the time.
With guns.
And that happens all the time.
I'm just
like when them riots be out there, most of them motherfuckers be out there strapped. You think them people just out there just with signs and shit? It's people all around that block waiting for some shit to pop off.
Remember that shooter that like shot them cops in Dallas?
Yeah,
that's what this made me think about. That's what
and shit like this.
I mean, think about it. That was one guy who was able to wipe out 14 police officers.
But you know what that made me think about?
I think something happened to him
that made him.
That's talk about his story like that.
And like, what's going on in the military that people are, you know, doing?
Wearing a dashiki in the picture there.
And what I'm saying is that my problem with the movie is that if these movies are going to be used to educate black people or to open eyes to other races or some shit, can it be in a more healthier manner? Like, why does it always have to be through trauma? Like, why can't?
Well, that's really a part of black. That's our DNA. Like, all we know is trauma. Really.
But why do we
know no other reality?
But why perpetuate it though? If we're having control, we choosing to make the movie. If we have the control to show a better side of black people, because not all of us go through trauma. Not all of us grew up like that.
A lot of Black Panther.
I didn't really like that, but it was for different reasons, though. It wasn't because I love it for black people, of course, but the story was like, you let this white man come and fuck everything up type of shit. So, and daddy died type of shit. So what I'm saying is that I feel like people should be able to have the freedom of art and create however you want to. But if we gonna be using these motherfuckers as tools for black people, can we have a little bit more positivity about, a little bit less trauma about niggas just dying and selling drugs in movies?
People don't watch positive ass movies though.
Because it ain't none. What the fuck we gonna watch?
That's a movie. Like,
Killer in the Beat was like the last positive.
And niggas love that movie, bro. Everybody that's saying King
that
of the Beat.
I love
like
that.
I'm saying, all the movies that's supposed to be made for black people and to show how empower us are made out of fucking struggle and death and shit. It's fucking sad.
That's what's sad.
And that's my point. That's sad as fuck.
Yeah.
I feel like every culture feeds off of it. It's not just one culture that's feeding off of that. You'd be surprised what people are into. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, but I think it's definitely on our backs the heaviest.
Yeah, we got the most, we got every damn movie.
It's
jokes on that.
violence.
Name your favorite black as a kid. All the movies that we all have in common that we loved as a kid, all of them motherfuckers have to do with some type of
basketball.
And niggas love that movie. See, those are small positive movies that black people actually love. Real men, real women love those movies. But how many of those type of things that we have?
Majority, that was like the end of that era.
Yeah, the 90s and the early 2000s, that was it. After that, now it's all about how we can be criminals or how we can be like fucking trauma babies.
John Singleton movie nowadays.
Bruh. Like every movie that's great from us, it's like, or we get those slave movies that's whitewashed like a motherfucker.
Hell yeah.
Y'all watch Underground, the show?
That
I've seen it.
Pissed me off.
A little bit.
That made me mad.
Slaves?
Every movie pissed you off.
Because they be playing with what's reality. Like Underground made it seem like that shit was just like a fairy tale.
Slavery
is not a fucking fairy tale.
They love downplaying that shit. So that's why I hate watching slave movies.
Yeah, it's a little disrespectful.
The slave pissed me off.
Yeah. But I thought that movie was kind of like graphic, wasn't it?
That's why it pissed me off.
Yeah.
It made me mad. Because these motherfuckers took this dude from his family.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's really how it is when niggas go to jail for nothing. Like, it's the same thing.
But that's the opposite of what Underground did. Underground was not made to educate people on the slavery. It made light of that shit. Like they was fucking kicking.
I feel like
it was fun sometimes.
Of the idea of blacks against blacks.
Yeah, we talked about some really good shit today. We happened to pick some. Well, we initially had two subjects, and we just kind of segued into other things.
Speaking of that, so I'm gonna have to get a high award today to Justin. That nigga was good.
Yeah,
right.
It was good.
I know.
And so you still still ain't won yet. You like the loser right
She
now.
That's okay. That's all right.
Cause she be faking on the blunt sometimes. She just be like,
what? That's
She
what
do.
you